Hello everyone, Tim Stanton here. Welcome to my Highland Middle School School Improvement Action Plan virtual presentation. In 2010, the Pennsylvania legislature enacted a law that promoted the creation of 10 end-of-course standardized tests that were collectively known as the Keystone exams. These were high school tests. In 2012, 2013, the first set of these were administered. That was the algebra, the biology, and literature test. With the introduction of these Keystone exams, the district leadership sought to flip-flop the curriculums that were taught in 7th and 8th grade. Life science was taught in 7th grade, physical science taught in 8th grade. They wanted to flip-flop them. And that would give our students 2 consecutive years of life science instruction and hopefully improve the chances that they could obtain a performance level of proficient or advanced on the biology Keystone exam. That's passing, and it was a graduation requirement. So during the 2010-11 school year, the 7th and 8th grade science teachers at Highland rewrote the 7th grade curriculum to align with the state standards that were going to be assessed on the biology Keystone exam, and that course became the new 8th grade science course. That's taught to this day. The physical science course, which was taught in 8th grade, that was moved back to 7th grade. And a lot of those standards are covered on the test itself. So what we're looking at here, these are the performance indicators for our high school students during the 2018-19 school year. And you can see the percentage of students that were proficient or advanced. You see 86.5% of our students, which is higher than our 2030 statewide goal. So it did work. Our students are doing very well. You can see 66% of the students across the state, the statewide average, only 66% are getting proficient or advanced. So we are well above the statewide average and above our 2030 statewide goal. This is the academic growth score, and you can see we've met the academic growth score for the 2018-19 school year as compared to the statewide average, which was 75.1. So, but the changes that occurred at Highland Middle School, they benefited students on the Keystone exam, but they've had negative effects on the students who take the 8th grade science PSSA test ever since then. So what we're looking at here, these are our growth measures for the 8th grade science PSSA test for the 2016, 2017, and 2018 school year. And you see our three-year average at the bottom. All of our values are consistently negative. The students scored lower than what the projected score was to be. And this is our performance levels, the percentage of students that scored advanced or proficient, that's passing, and then a percentage of students that scored basic or below basic, and that's not passing. And you can see if you look along the top line here, we are consistently below 60%. We've never got above 60% ever since we made this change to our curriculum. So to remedy this situation, I propose aligning the 7th and 8th grade curriculum and teaching both life science and physical science over the course of 7th and 8th grade. And to do that, it's going to be a collaborative effort. So it's going to take me, it's going to take the other 7th grade teacher, the other 8th grade teacher, as well as the curriculum director at our school to accomplish this. And I can lead it because I'm the only one that teaches that knows both the 7th and the 8th grade curriculum very well. I've been teaching for 10 years. So the 8th grade PSSA science test has 48 points on it. 38 are selected response points, and 5 are constructed response items that are graded and worth 2 points each. So that's 48 total points. The graph that we're looking at here represents the percentage of correct answers. The blue bars represent the selected response, and the orange bars represent the constructed response. And you can see that there is definitely area for growth with the constructive response questions. And that's one of the things that I want to help improve. And to do that, we're going to integrate this 8th grade science open-ended scoring guide into our classroom instruction with tests, quizzes, labs. So students are going to be given direct instruction through guided practice and independent practice in developing science open-ended responses. And we can get open-ended questions in the form of what the state calls science scenarios online. Those are available from 8th grade PSSA science tests that were administered in the past. And continual reinforcement through the school year on the criteria from the scoring guide used to grade their open-ended questions. So this is the 8th grade science PSSA open-ended scoring guide, 2 points. And you can see these are the criteria that we are going to directly instruct our students in how to accomplish that when they are constructing their um, open-ended questions. And there's 4 reporting categories of content that are assessed on the 8th grade science PSSA. There's the nature of science, which is 50% of the test, or 24%. Then life science, physical science, and earth science each are worth 8 points on the test. The graphs that we're looking at here, these represent those 4 reporting categories. And the blue bar is the one that I'm focusing on, because that is those are the ones that scored in the high and the high level. The percentage of students that scored high on the nature of science, the percentage of the students that scored high in the biological science, and the percentage of students that scored high in the physical science. And then lastly, this is the earth and space science down here. This is the one that I'm focusing on, because the nature of science represents 50% of that test. So this is the 2017-18 school year. This is the 2018-2019 school year. And this is the 2020-21 school year. You can see only 12% of our students scored in the high category for the nature of science. So that's something that I would like to mitigate also. So to do that, I want to integrate in what is known as a full option science systems, or FOSS, into both the 7th and 8th grade curriculum. FOSS is a research-based kindergarten through 8th grade science curriculum that assists in instructing students in the nature of science standards as other content-specific standards are being covered in their 7th and 8th grade school year. So we'll cover the biology, we'll cover the earth science, we'll cover the life science, but as we're doing that, we're going to use FOSS to do it, and that will also help them to remember those nature of science process and thinking skills that we would like them to have. FOSS itself is an inquiry-based, hands-on method of delivering content-specific instruction that enhances a student's ability to apply science concepts and increases the creative ability of students. The curriculum itself is centered around investigations, and the activities enable students to answer a focused question through a combination of 1, hands-on activity, 2, online simulations, and 3, direct instruction. So in the curriculum itself, there's a heavy emphasis that's placed on using recorded observations that are recorded during exploratory and laboratory experiences to answer questions about the natural world. Students are encouraged to answer a focused question at the start of each investigation using their prior knowledge, regardless of whether the response is correct or not. And as students move through each investigation, the response becomes more refined as they gain information. And that's very much like science progresses in the real world. So the last slide that we see here, this is my school improvement logic model for Highland Middle School. And all the things that I talked about, one thing that's on here that wasn't talked about during the actual presentation previously is the increased use of simulations. And there's plenty of them that are available online. I saw some that were available from the FOSS website, and then there's some that are available through what is known as FET. That's the University of Colorado at Boulder. They have free science and math simulations that are available for students to use, and I would like to increase the use of those, because that will help students to be able to visualize science concepts as well as math concepts. Physical science is a very math heavy discipline. All right, thank you very much.